place in the West as a result of play last evening in Canadian football. The Argos are smiling as a result of the play of Luke Tousineau from Montreal last night. Here to Nick Araki for a big touchdown and a 17-3 lead Montreal there. And later, Preston Young, one of 6 interceptions of Hamilton Tiger Cat quarterback Tom Clements, to snuff out another Tiger Cat drive. The Concords en route to their first win of 1982. In Calgary, the second straight win for the Stampeders. Jerry DiTilio engineered a 9-play, 75-yard touchdown march. The capper, 31 yards to newcomer Brett Davis. The Stampeders, after a slow start, on to a 30-19 victory over the Ottawa Roughriders. So the standings in the East, Toronto up by a point with a game in hand. And out west, the Edmonton Eskimos have slipped to 4th place, 1 point behind the Calgary Stampeders. It's a pleasure once again to be working with Ronnie Lancaster and Leo Cahill. The big question we have tonight are the Grey Cup champion Edmonton Eskimos on the ropes. Ron, you're first.
John, no way. With the personnel they've got an excellent football team. Everybody knew the Western Conference was going to be close this year, and it is. And it's going to stay that way for 16 games. Leo, how do you see it?
Well, Ron, as far as I'm concerned, there's 2 teams out here tonight that are completely out of characters. Edmonton's the Grey Cup champions. They're down 2 games. The Toronto Argonauts are coming in here in first place, and that's really different. Now, there's an irony tonight connected with this thing. Everybody in the Canadian Football League are copying Edmonton's offense and defense. I don't think the Argonauts can copy it tonight well enough to win, John.
Okay, Leo, there has been a lot of criticism of the Eskimo offense. Ron, what's wrong?
Nothing. Let's look at the offense. They got a great football team. They're leading the league with 140 points scored. Everybody believes that they're having their problems on offense. But, you know, whenever things are going good, it's the quarterback and the receivers. But when things are going bad, it's the offensive line. What's wrong with this offensive line? Nothing. It's been good enough to take them to 4 straight wins of Grey Cup. And this year, they're off to another start that they're just not happy with. But the main thing is the offensive linemen cannot be responsible for everything. You know, it is a team game. Everybody has to share in their own blame and take some of the responsibility. The offensive linemen are good, but they're only as good a lot of times as that quarterback makes them. And Warren Moon is an outstanding quarterback, but, you know, he can't do it all either. He's being forced to drop the balls off the receivers other than the wide receivers. People like Neil Lumsden, who is their second leading pass receiver, which is a very, very unusual situation. Over the years, they've had excellent touchdowns and excellent play from their wide receivers. That's where their problem is. Levin Sellers caught 12. Waddell Smith only caught 6 passes. Long gain of 19 yards, 1 touchdown. Not enough from the wide receivers. Leo, how's that Argonaut defense going to handle the Eskimos tonight?
Well, Ron, I think that they're going to revert back to what they had the most success with, and that was in the second half of that game out in Edmonton. They decided to go to 6 backs, so they put Aykroyd in there. They took out a linebacker, and they went with the 6-back situation. Here you see the 6 linemen. They just put 6 backs in there with them. Put Aykroyd in the ball game. However, Huey Campbell is a very perceptive guy, you know, and if he decides that they're going to stop his passing game, he may just as well start with the run in the football game. So look for the run in the first part of this football game, and he'll look at his personnel and he'll say, hey, I'm better than they are. Man for man on this football team, we're a better football team. So let's run at them and let's out-muscle them as far as that's concerned. So there'll always be a chance for a change. In this ball game tonight, though, the Argonauts, they don't lose at all if they lose. They can still make the playoffs, John. They may still even get into the Grey Cup. But as far as Edmonton is concerned, if Edmonton loses tonight, I'm a little bit worried. I think it may be the end of a dynasty. They can't afford to lose 3 in a row with as powerful as they are out west.
Some interesting comments. The Argonauts and the Eskimos have not met in a meaningful football game in quite some time. So we look forward to this one tonight. It's a hot, muggy night at CNE Stadium in Toronto, and we expect a very important football game as far as the Edmonton Eskimos are concerned. As Leo Cahill points out, the Eskimos have to get back on track, and it's very tight in the Western Division of the Canadian Football League. We'll be back with the opening kickoff to Exhibition Stadium in Toronto right after this. Well, not a full house at Exhibition Stadium, Toronto tonight, but a very enthusiastic welcome for the Toronto Argonauts. Are the Argos back on track? Are the fans ready to support them, Ron?
I believe so. They're expecting around 45,000. Should be a good football game. The Argonauts, they know what happened the first time. They don't want it to happen the second. They'll be ready.
Temperature 26 degrees Celsius. Wind northwest at 10 will favor the Eskimos slightly as they go back to receive the kickoff from Zenon Andrusician. Sean Kehoe, 31. Cole, 35, and Holloman, 29. Drop deep for the Eskimos. And we'll hope, Leo, that we do get a little bit of a breeze in off Lake Ontario tonight, because it is a little muggy in Toronto.
Well, John, I think that the important thing as far as the Argonauts are concerned is to get a good start out here tonight. They're the inexperienced team. Edmonton is the veteran team. Edmonton doesn't have to get a good start. Somewhere in the third or fourth quarter, they can still take this ball game over, but it's imperative that the Argonauts get a good start right away in this ball game.
Football game. Got to get started on the right foot.
That's very profound, Ron.
The Argos started well last week in Saskatchewan. They scored very early. We're underway in Toronto. Kevin Cole slipped at the 20-yard line. Zach Henderson, 31, the defensive leader of the Argonauts, over to pin 35, Kevin Cole. The Eskimos offensively begin from their 24-yard line.
You know, yesterday, John, Coach Abilovich was talking about the value of Zach Henderson, how he's one of their defensive leaders. Come down on the opening kickoff and make a stop. That's a good way to be a leader.
The offensive line, Pache, Upton, Millian, Blanchard, and Stevenson. First down for the Eskimos. Lumsden, a big hole over the middle on the opening offensive play. Jeff Gabrielson, 72, to make the tackle for the Argonauts. Lumsden just shy of the 34-yard line, so he's very close to first down territory.
And it looks like they're fulfilling what we said that they would. It looks like they got the 6 defensive backs in there. And it looks like on the first play that they went to Lumsden, and Lumsden carried the ball in there pretty well, so maybe they're going to run a little bit like we thought.
Ron, that's one thing that you should be able to do against the 6-man secondary.
Well, you know, you take a linebacker out, and they're usually your hitters. And when you take them out, a defensive back doesn't tackle as well.
This is second down, less than a yard to go for the Eskimos. Moon straight ahead. He's across the 35. Should be no problem with the first down.
There he goes over his left guard, and his first initial contact, he may have been stopped short of the first down, but he spun off of it like a good back will do, and he got that extra yardage for the first down. You know, what I talked about before, that front four that the Argonauts, or that front line that the Argonauts are showing is pretty much like what Edmonton would use on a short yardage situation, so that's holding true.
Right on the 35, first down Edmonton. Kevin Cole barely back to the line of scrimmage. Earl Wilson, 58, to make the tackle. Wilson in replace of Fred Norgrim, who has an ankle problem for the Argonauts. He was their leading tackler up front.
Steve Aykroyd comes up here on the outside and does a pretty good job, takes a good hit. You'll see him show up. He's forcing it in. Lumsden has to block him, but that forces Cole inside, and that allows Wilson to make the good backside pursuit to make the tackle. That's what they want to do.
Great job of blocking there by Neil Lumsden, by the way, Ron.
Loss of a bit. This is second down, 10 and a half. Moon. Through for Lumsden. This Scavage, 64 for the Argos. Had the pressure on Warren Moon that time. It looked like he might have thrown that one away, although Lumsden was in the general area.
Yeah, Lumsden's there. You'll see Moon come back here. They got the 6 defensive backs. They're only coming with 4, and they get good pressure. You'll see the pressure coming from the backside. They get a hold of him. Eskavich gets a hold of Warren Moon. Moon throws it right at Neil Lumsden. It's a little behind him, and then Moon gets a little bit upset with the treatment that Eskavich gave him. I don't know why a quarterback gets mad at a defensive lineman. He pays for that later, you know.
I'll tell you what, it's not a very good idea at this stage of the game to be taking a swing at somebody when you're the quarterback. They can't afford to have him lose his poise.
Good punt by Alisic. Jan Carinci at the 35 of the Argos, away from one tackler, brought down by Millian, 56. And 23, Santucci, first down for the Argonauts.
You got a couple more guys down there want to talk about it a little bit. Maybe it's going to be in one of those physical games.
10-yard return for Carinci.
John, the Argonauts have pretty good field position right here. They started off holding the Edmonton Eskimos on that first sequence of downs, which is important. Now, what they do with the ball right now is extremely important, too.
Holloway, first down for the Argonauts. They're 42. Carinci, Ed Jones made the tackle after a 5-yard pickup.
Ed Jones made the tackle. 6-yard gain. Second and 4.
Now look at the Eskimo defense, Boone, Fennell, Kearns, and Parker up front. The linebackers, Towns, Kepley, Dixon. And in the secondary, Holloman and Jones, McLeod, Hayes, and Highbaugh. This is second down. 5 to go, Argos. Over the middle, intended for Minter. And there's a flag going down. Mike McLeod was covering Cedric Minter. A late flag, Ron.
Real late. They had two officials standing there, and this guy came from a long way away, but, you know, they're all on the field, and he can call it if he sees it. It's a very difficult call to make, but evidently he did it. Let's see what he says.
I think McLeod just got his toe caught. Wasn't that?
Let's see if we can see it. They send double motion, and the Eskimos are man-to-man with a blitz. Here comes Potter into your picture. Tries to throw it over the middle. Well, maybe he hooked him a little bit. I don't know. Pretty tough.
Interference. The Argos have a first down. Cedric Minter. Stopped from behind by Fennell. Gain of a yard.
Well, there's some talk around the league, and everyone's speaking about Fennell being a little bit overweight. He didn't look overweight on that one right there. His pursuit was great. He flattened out and made a good play on that.
They've had Fennell running a little bit, Ron.
Oh, I've had an opportunity to sit down with Dave today and talk with him a little bit. He's running about 4 days a week now, you know, getting in good shape. He feels he's in good shape and doesn't know where all these stories are coming from.
Whenever you lose a couple games, there's always that great game of transference played. It's somebody else's fault, and if the guy's a little bit overweight, they're going to focus on him.
This is 2nd and 9 for the Argos. Holloway, too far. Pearson, the intended receiver, double coverage back there.
The Eskimos lined up like they were going to blitz that time. They brought everybody up and got some action going, then dropped out of there in the zone, and Holloway tried to hit Pearson right down the seam. You see the Eskimos showing man, but you see Kepley dropping out of there. That means zone. Pearson's coming right between McLeod and Highball, and it's just a little bit too far. That's what you call a seam, anything between the safety and the halfback.
3rd down for the Argos. Andrew Sishin back at his 45-yard line, an impressive average.
Nothing wrong with the design of that play. It was just poorly thrown. It was in there, Ron. It was just a matter of getting it connected.
That's Gary Hayes to the 5 and no farther. Argonauts with lots of enthusiasm stop Gary Hayes. The Argos feel they have recovered the football. And they have. Happiness in Toronto. The Argonauts pick up a fumble by Gary Hayes and threaten to score early in the opening quarter.
For the AAU Junior Olympics, sponsored by Sears. We'll all be looking for you. When is that, guys? Sunday on ESPN.
ESPN sports a winning lineup Sunday, starting as North Melbourne and Carlton scramble to tally a victory in Australian rules football. Then Sharon Smith takes you around America's racetracks for a view of the action down the stretch on Horse Racing Weekly. Later, soccer fans will get their fill with live NASL soccer as the Tampa Bay Rowdies use their head in an attempt to fell the Portland Timbers. It's all Sunday on ESPN.
ESPN swings into Sunday with
The win on was those special teams, and you see them coming down here right now. Hamiluk makes the first hit right there. It looks like Moan gets on the ball, and that's a big break for the Argonauts. And like I said, this first part of this ball game is very important to them, and they're moving.
All right, Argos at the Eskimos 7-yard line with a 1st and goal to go. Cedric Minter inside, easily the touchdown. Argos out in front, 6-0. Cedric Minter not even touched as he blazed into the Eskimo end zone. And the Argonauts take advantage quickly of their first break of the evening.
A simple pitch out right here to Minter, and he cuts back against the flow, against the pursuit. Finds the opening and just runs the daylight.
Barely touched.
McLeod got a hand on him, but it wasn't good enough, and the Argos are out in front. I don't know about the rest of the fans in these stands, but the 3 broadcasters were up on their feet for that one.
Andrew Sishin. Easily. And the Toronto Argonauts out in front of the Eskimos, 7-0. 10:29 to play in the opening quarter.
Well, that's a tough way to start a game if you're an Eskimo fan, but the fans here are loving it. A great hit down there.
2 weeks in a row. Last week, the Argos scored first after recovering.
Well, the big thing last week's game, from what Coach Abilovich said, was their special teams play, as Leo was talking about. That was super, to make the fumble and then turn around and put it in the end zone. That's what you do with turnovers.
Well, you know that the Argos are going to be higher than the Georgia Pine now. I mean, they're going to be covering down there and hitting and skitting and bobbing and weaving. They're going to go after him now. They got that 7-point edge. I noticed something on Edmonton that I haven't seen in the past. They walked off that field a little bit with their heads down, and that doesn't seem like the Eskimos of these last 5 years. Now, maybe it's because they're old pros and because they know it's just a matter of time till they get back in the ball game and win. I'm not sure.
Andrew Sishin will kick it off. Cole is back, 35, along with Kehoe and Joe Holloman. Sean Kehoe. Bit of a seam as Kehoe fights to the 25. Moan, 36, to make the tackle for the Argos.
And Moan has been very active in there. He's down there recovering that fumble and now down there making that key tackle. And they got him on the 25-yard line.
Okay, he catches far right side. Now he comes up behind the wall. He's just looking for a hole to run through. He thinks he sees one, tries to get outside. Moan makes the tackle. Good going. 25-yard line again.
Moon will throw on first down. Intended for Levenseller. There appeared to be a mix-up. JoJo Heath, 24 for the Argos, had a shot at it.
Well, I thought it was going to be picked off, and I don't know whether he didn't see Heath or not on this thing here, but he threw the ball right where Heath was.
You'll see him drop back into a zone. Now Moon tries to force this into the zone, and he's throwing into a lot of bad territory when you got three blue shirts around it, and too far inside. Should have been intercepted. You know, Heath, they have top 4 to top 5 interceptors in the league right now, and Heath's their leader.
Argos have 13 interceptions on the season. This is 2nd and 10 for the Eskimos. Argo 25. Time to throw for Moon. Over the middle, Waddell Smith couldn't hang on. Rose supplied the coverage for the Argos, and Waddell Smith continues to have his problem hanging on to the football.
Yeah, you got to make that catch. When you play 6 defensive backs like that, they clear that middle out, and Moon goes back. You'll see those linebackers run out of there, and when Waddell Smith comes in there, there's nothing underneath. The ball's thrown right where it should be. The ball's there. He gets stripped of it. Good defense, but those are the catches that you have to make. Another look at the same play, just a down and in pattern. The ball hit him in the numbers, but he stripped them. A good defensive play that time.
The Argos been doing that all year. They've been going after those people and hitting them when they catch that ball.
Alisic. High punt this time. Currency at the 35. First man down, makes the tackle. James Parker.
James Parker is something. That's excellent work for him to get down there that fast. Good coverage on the punt. They looked like he was trying to get outside and had a little bit of room.
I'm a little bit surprised that the Eskimos haven't tried to run at them a little bit more with that 6 defensive backs in there and just test them a little bit and soften them up. But they're falling right into that trap and throwing the ball into all those people, and it's going to be tough to throw again.
51-yard punt for Alisic. Argos start from their 35. Holloway, swing pass. That's Paul Pearson to the 45. Very close to the first down.
Holloway pass completed to Paul Pearson. Ralph Dixon made the tackle. First down, Argos.
Just a swing pass. This is one of their most effective plays out here, and Paul Pearson has the good moves out there and evades the tackle by Gray and almost makes the first down on it. Or he did make the first down.
He's got it, Leo. Argos at their own 45. Holloway intended that one for Terry Greer. 29, Holloman was with Greer all the way.
Put the blitz on him that time. Holloway had to throw it. Joe Holloman anticipated that pattern. In fact, he almost stepped right in front of it.
He had a chance at it, no question.
It looks to me like when they come with that remaining back in the backfield all by himself to one side and the motion is all gone to his side, that the linebacker away from that comes on the stunt run, and he came clean on that thing and almost got Holloway before he threw the ball.
Holloway 2 of 4 on the night, 50% for 16 yards. Second down, 10 to go, Argos. at their 45.
There he goes again.
For Minter, good catch, but short of the first down at the 50-yard line. Mike McLeod, 18, to make the tackle for the Eskimos.
Now you'll see it right here. All the backs are to the right. And that middle linebacker, he's blocked, but he comes from that offside on the blitz, and that's his key, I'm sure, when all those backs are away from him.
Do you like that jump pass, Ron?
Oh, not really. Once you're up there, you have to throw it, and a lot of things bad can happen.
And Rescission at his 35. Hayes gets it again. He'll be careful this time. And effective to the 36-yard line.
Pretty good tackle by Bronk.
Bob Bronk to make the tackle. The Eskimos are first down. They trail the Argos 7-0. Still have half the first quarter to play in Toronto. On the sidelines, some coaching for the Argonaut offense. On the field, the Eskimo offense with a first down from their 36-yard line. Moon in trouble. Flags are down. Rusty Olson, 79 for the second time, breaking through on Warren Moon. The indication is holding against the Eskimos.
Okay, look at the secondary now. They're covering that inside guy with that guy up on the line of scrimmage. That means that the middle's going to be open when they want to throw the football. That time, they didn't have a chance. He was trying to throw just a quick pattern that time, but Olson was all over him.
No chance whatsoever for Warren Moon. John Moon on the sidelines, attended to by Freddie Dunbar.
I know we mention this all the time, that when you get the kind of heat that the Argonauts are putting on the Edmonton right now, that they've got to screen and draw some to get them off that pressure, and I'm surprised that a veteran quarterback wouldn't be doing that.
2nd and 15 for Moon. Well over the head of Kevin Cole, the intended receiver. And that Eskimo offense continues to have problems.
That was the screen pass that I was talking about, John, but it was just overextended, and he threw it over his head.
Well, Moon's stats are pretty good. He's hitting about 56% of his passes. He's got 8 touchdowns and only 3 intercepted, but he's got to get something going right here. The Argonauts are going to pick up some momentum.
That's on the season tonight. He's 0 for 4.
Right.
Carinci and Cox are deep for the Argonauts. Olisic near his own 15. Flags down. No play for Carinci, 27. But there will be some discussion back near the line of scrimmage. The referee, Blair Shello.
Flag was thrown by one of the linesmen out on the side, so we'll have to see whether Eskimos are offside or that Argonauts
It was the
are offside.
Argonauts
Somebody
offside.
is. We'll see what happens here.
Well, on 3rd and 15, it should make much difference if it were the Argonauts offside.
Toronto, number 6. When one of those linesmen throw that flag, somebody's offside, and that time it's him. And they figure with the exchange of punts, they don't want to kick it again. They'll just let him have the ball down there.
Well, with Olisic's kicking, though, Ron, wouldn't you think they'd take another shot at that with a 5-yard improvement on the field position?
Well, there's no return on it, Leo. Really not much value. You could take a chance of a bad snap or getting it blocked or something, but he's an excellent punter, but no return.
Offensively, the Argos begin from their 39.
That's pretty good field position.
Cedric Minter. And another flag.
Minter carried.
Minter close to the 45-yard line before he was brought down. Ralph Dixon.
Looks like it's going to be holding. Same play they scored with down there, just a little toss to Minter. He's just going to come around here and try to find a hole, anywhere he can find it. He thinks there's a seam there. He starts inside. And there you see Dixon there. You see the referee throw the flag.
They call it reach blocking on the onside on that toss play. And Carinci, number 27, comes in from the slot and does a job blocking. He's an excellent blocker. From the University of Maryland, he was well known down there as a real crackback man.
It'll be 1st and 20. Argos from their 29-yard line. Bronk 34, and not much room that time. Kepley, 42.
Ball wrong goal. Dan Kepley made the tackle.
You know, Dan Kepley missed a couple tackles last week in that game that he doesn't usually miss. In fact, it's probably one of the poorer games he's played. And I'll tell you what, a poor game for Kepley is still better than most.
Say that again.
You're right about that, no question.
See the hand back to Bronk. Bronk comes back through. Kepley starts one way, comes back the other, and makes the hit.
Over the middle, Minter, the intended receiver. There was a collision, Minter and Dixon, but no flags are down.
Conrad thinks there should have been pass interference. There definitely was a collision, but the rules say you can stand there, and
right.
you're entitled to the ground you stand on. If he runs over you, that's his problem.
Now watch that very closely, Ron, and there's no question he come in from the outside and ran right into the path of the defensive back, and the defensive back has every right to protect the position he's standing on, as you said. But it always looks to the quarterback when he gets his receiver knocked off balance like it's interference.
Well, you might as well try for it.
Quarterbacks are never wrong. Never wrong with.
I know one thing, they cry an awful lot. There's only one thing dumber than a dumb lineman, that's a smart quarterback.
Gary Hayes at the 35 for the Eskimos. Fumbled it again. Got it back that time. Hayes fumbled earlier. The Argos recovered at that time and went in to score this time. Hayes was fortunate to get back to the football and takes it for the Eskimos at the 45.
He tries to catch it on the run. The ball gets under and hits his leg, and now he can't handle it. It hits the ground. Good dive. It's a good thing he got it back because there's all blue shirts and him by himself. You'll see the number of blue shirts around right here when that ball goes down. 3-1. He got it.
Moan 36 again, leading the Argonaut tackler. The Eskimo offense from their own 45.
The Eskimos are improving on the field position with every exchange of punts.
Lumsden stopped after a couple. John Pointer, a former Eskimo, up to make the tackle. Eskimos didn't really want to get rid of Mr. Pointer. They liked what they saw in him last season, but they didn't have room for him with Dan Kepley playing.
Moon comes out of here. He's just like a little bit of a fake there and hands back to Lumsden. He tries to get that middle linebacker going one way and then hand it back and hope that middle linebacker overruns it. The Pointer didn't do it. He stayed right in there and made the hit.
Makes it a lot easier on that lineman that's blocking that middle linebacker if he gets a little influence on him, too.
Now 2nd and 7 for the Eskimos. Moon has time. That's Kevin Cole. And he has a first down near the 50. Darrell Wilson, 13, over to make the tackle.
Used his head that time. Dropped those linebackers back into his zone that time. He just hit the back coming out, and Kevin Cole picked up the yardage.
You get the impression that the Eskies now are beginning to settle down.
First down. Now the Argonaut 51.
You'll see the linebackers dropping out of there. That means zone. So they're back deep. He throws it underneath them. Cole does the rest. Straight upfield, get that first down.
Eskimo first down. Sideline pass. Waddell Smith hangs on. A gain of 5 at the 45 of the Argos. Maybe a little confidence from Mr. Smith.
Well, you know, all receivers like to catch footballs, but boy, they got to make the catch when they come to them, because if you come to them too many times and they don't, you say, to heck with them.
You know, the old saying is, if he misses too many of those, there's a bluebird leaving every 15 minutes. He's will be on it.
Second and 5. Eskimos at the Argo 45. Cole again. That's right at the line of scrimmage. John Pointer, 37. And Moore, 76.
John Pointer and Rick Moore made the stop.
All right. We're going to see this, and Pointer is definitely keying on Cole. He's not fooled one moment on that thing, and he just stays with him all the way and comes right in there and steps up and fills the hole.
You see that what they try to do is get Kevin Cole coming across the top, get that linebacker to move, and then run back where you came from. But Pointer did not go for that one bit. He stayed back there and made the hit right on the line of scrimmage. Good defense.
So the Argonaut defense holds. Hank Alisic will kick it away for the Eskimos. Cox and Carinci in their own end zone.
Not a normal Carinci kick either. I mean, a normal Alisic kick.
Fielded by Martin Cox, the Eskimos hit the scoreboard for the first time. We have 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Exhibition Stadium, a hot, muggy night. We'll continue CFL football in a moment. Here's what's ahead in the Canadian Football League. Tomorrow afternoon, Winnipeg Stadium, the Lions and the Bombers for first place in the Western Division. And then Thursday, the Rough Riders and the Rough Riders. At Exhibition Stadium, a first down for the Argonauts. Minter, a gain of 3. Tommy Towns from behind, number 20.
Minter carries. Towns and Templey made
Just a little counter play. Roland Mango came back and made the block on Towns, but Towns fell off of it and made the tackle. That's just good defense because he had a pretty good block put on it.
There's a lot of white shirts there, though, Ron. I think somebody else would have made the tackle. They read that pretty well, and it didn't seem like it fooled anybody. I think when they keep that one remaining back in the Argonaut backfield, that everybody's alerted for that cutback or that back handoff that's going to come to him away from the flow.
2nd and 7, Argos from their 38. Greer, and he has room and speed. Caught from behind. Holloman. Hayes over to help out, but Holloman made the touchdown-saving tackle on Terry Greer. A 30-yard pickup for the Argonauts.
This is a great play right here. He gets everything away, and then he turns back to Greer. There's no safety man in the middle. He's got the lineman coming out the block on Holloman, and now it's a race up the field, and you don't see Mike McLeod ever come back, and he's the middle safety because he was all the way over with that man in motion.
So a first down for the Argos. Eskimo 42, almost intercepted. Ed Jones stepped in front of that Conrad Holloway pass intended for Paul Pearson. So it'll be second down, Argos, from the 41. We talked about some of the problems the Eskimos have had of late. They have 9 changes from their Grey Cup roster, partly due to injury, partly because of changes they've made on their own. Holloway on 2nd and 10 gets some heat. Flags go down. James Parker and Dan Kearns, number 58.
Holloway sacked by Parker and
The indication from referee Blair Shallow, holding against the Argos. Maybe we can pick it up.
Looking from the end zone, you see Holloway coming out. You see Fennell trying to get up the middle. Kearns guts an inside rush. That's what a quarterback doesn't like to see. He tries to step away from him, but now Parker makes the hit. And Parker has been their leader. He's got 2 sacks. He's got 21 tackles for the Eskimos. There's another sack. The Edmonton Eskimos lead the CFL. They have 17 sacks, and there's another one.
So it'll be third down for the Argonauts. Larry Highbaugh, the lone man deep for the Eskimos, standing 10 yards deep in the end zone. A 54-yard attempt by Zenon Andrusician.
Short.
Bouncing to Highbaugh, who gives up a single point. And the Argonauts increase their lead to 7 once more. Toronto, 8. The Eskimos, 1. And just 8 seconds remain in the opening quarter.
Well, they're going to get time for one play. Highbaugh could have run that out very easily. He had a lot of room, but orders from the bench say, give them one. Let's get the ball outside and go from there, because they get it back at the line of scrimmage because it was a missed field goal. So they're all the way out to like the 47-yard line. That's good field position.
First down, Edmonton on the 47.
Andrusician's longest prior to that, 48 yards. So he was a little out of range. Should be the last play of the opening quarter. Moon, far side. Levenseller has the reception and the first down. JoJo Heath, 24, to force him out of bounds. And that ends the opening quarter at Exhibition Stadium, Toronto. The Argos out in front of the Edmonton Eskimos by a touchdown. We'll be back with the second quarter in just...
Look, if you're an investor who's tired of being too late when investments are heading up, too late when they're heading down, look ahead. Look into Barron's. Every week, Barron's gives you page after page of useful investment information, days, weeks, even months ahead. Every week, 34 pages of market statistics, in-depth studies of companies, a dividends and earnings alert on all New York Stock Exchange and Amex stocks, exclusive analyses covering the whole world of investing. All you need to know not to be too late. Every week in Barron's. If you call this toll-free number now, you can get 26 weeks of Barron's for just $28. Call right now, and you'll also get free Understanding Technical Forecasting, an informative booklet that shows you how professionals use Barron's. 26 weeks of Barron's, plus this revealing booklet for only $28. Look ahead. Look into Barron's. Call 800-453-4840 now, before it's too late.
A look at our CBC CompuStats after one quarter of play in Toronto. The Argos with a net offense of 61 compared to 49 for the Eskimos. Right now, however, the Eskimos start with a first down inside Toronto territory at the Argo 52-yard line. Warren Moon would like to get something going here. Eskimos trail by 7. Cole, and there was no room. Jeff Gabrielson in the middle, and Leon Lescavich, 64, to stop Kevin Cole that time.
Eskimos want to try to run over him if they can, but you can't do a gain in 1 yard. They're going to have to go to the air.
2-yard gain.
Middle's open, but boy, look at Lescavich closed down, and then the linebacker fills for him. There's just nowhere to go.
There's a changeup, Ron, second and long, and they take out the extra defensive back and put in a lineman. They put the call in.
Second and 9, and they're coming at Moon. Nowhere to run, nowhere to throw. The Eskimos stall offensively once more.
Well, they sprung him clean right up the middle, and Moon didn't have a chance to turn around. He got tremendous pressure this time. You see Moon go back. Delco comes straight up the middle. Nobody blocks him. He is free. He chases Moon out of the pocket. Very difficult for a quarterback to run to his left, go to his right. He finally runs out of room, steps out of bounds, but you can't let a man through that fast.
Well, you know, Ron, it was Delco that made that, put that pressure on the quarterback that time. It was Delco that came in and took the 6 defensive backs' place, so maybe they were anticipating blocking like they normally had with the 6th back, and then they forgot about it.
Well, somebody forgot about him because he has to belong to somebody.
Alisic for Cox or Carinci. Carinci has no play. It's out of bounds near the 15. The Argos will start deep in their own zone.
Illicit front, put out of bounds on the Argonauts. 13.
Young team, the Argonauts have the young team. They're playing with a lot of enthusiasm, and that's a credit to the coaching staff over there and the job that they've done with them. They're starting to be believers in themselves, and when you get them believing, they can play.
Bobo Bilovich told us yesterday that the attitude on this team is the most pleasing aspect that he's seen so far.
Well, conversely, the Edmonton team seems to be walking around kind of with their heads down out there and lacking emotion. Now, we haven't seen them lose that much in the last 5 years, so we don't know whether that's just an old professional attitude or whether they're just down.
Holloway for Minter. He's to the 25, brought down by Highbaugh. Short of the first down, but within range.
What they're doing there, John, is they have that receiver there split out. The backs go in motion, and then that inside receiver comes across, and he picks the linebacker. You'll see Holloway come to his left. You'll see Dixon, 19, trying to chase him, and he's behind him. He can't cover him from there, and he has to give ground when that receiver comes in. He's got to go around him. That gets Minter open short, and that's all they want. 7 yards on first down is great.
Get it to a good fast back in an open field situation, Ron.
Second and 3 Argos from the 25. Holloway will throw again. Minter, the intended receiver, made the catch in front of Dixon. Outstanding reception by Cedric Minter at the 40-yard line. A big Argo first down there.
Actually, if the defense would have been looking, it probably could have been an interception. But when things are going right for you, they're going right all the way. Holloway throws the ball, and the defensive back, you see, had his back turned. That was McLeod, and there was that Dixon. That was Dixon had his back turned in there, and if he was looking toward the quarterback, it could have been an interception, but the Argonauts are moving.
Toronto now from their 41. Holloway with time. Over the middle for Pearson. Big gaping hole in the Eskimo secondary. Mike McLeod had to go over to make the tackle. But Pearson was all alone.
He just uses his head there, goes back and gets himself out of trouble by stepping up inside the pocket, and then sees Pearson downfield and gets the ball to him. Just a great job of adjusting.
Throwback pattern right here. You see Kepley gets underneath Pearson, so Pearson keeps going. Holloway steps up and finds him. That's what happens when you give the quarterback time.
A 27-yard pickup for the Argonauts. They're at the Eskimo 42 now. Barry Greer wrestled down inside the 20. Mike McLeod, the touchdown-saving tackle. But there's some embarrassment in that Eskimo secondary right now.
This is just another example here. The ball is thrown about as well as it can be thrown, but the defender's got just as good a chance of intercepting there. Holloman overplays his hand, misses the interception, and almost allows Greer to go for the touchdown.
Well, this stadium in Toronto is alive. The Argonauts threaten once more inside the Eskimo 20. They're at the 14. Cox in the grasp of Larry Highbaugh. He fell across the goal line.
What they did here, John, was they just set the motion in one direction, created a one-on-one situation with Cox and the cornerback on the other side, and he just run the post pattern. Here it is right here, looking back, and there's just one-on-one there. Now, had it been done a little bit more, he may have scored the touchdown on it. He had to wait for the ball.
He did get the touchdown, Leo. He fell across the line.
All right, he got the touchdown. I'm sorry, John.
Just barely across the line. Enough, though. And Rescission adds to the Argonaut total.
I guess what I meant, John, is he would have gone in standing up.
Well, they count either way. And the Argonauts take control of the Edmonton Eskimos, CNE in Toronto. It's 15-1.
This buzz for everyone who knows they've got what it takes to get the job.
This buzz for you, for all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Hey, this buzz for you.
The Argos are on a roll. A 93-yard scoring drive ended with Conrad Holloway to Martin Cox in Toronto. Out in front of the Edmonton Eskimos, 15-1. Andrew Sisson to kick off here. Still lots of time to play till halftime. 10 minutes, 45 seconds. 31 Kehoe, 35 Cole are deep for the Eskimos, along with 29 Joe Holloman. What's happened to Edmonton, Ron?
The Toronto Argonauts are doing a heck of a job. Conrad Holloway is finding the open man. That time he had man coverage. He threw a slant to Cox one-on-one, and you can beat him inside. The one he threw to Greer, read the right thing, made a perfect read, hit Greer on the curl. Great play.
That's Sean Kehoe. Zach Henderson, 31.
I'll tell you that Zach Henderson, he shows up on those special teams. There's nothing wrong with the way he's returning this ball. He's going all out, but he just infiltrates from the side. Henderson does and makes an excellent tackle there, and that's hard on the knees.
That is a great hit. Super effort and a great hit by Henderson.
A change in the Eskimo backfield. Neil Lumsden is out on the sidelines with an ice pack, and that means Angelo Santucci will be the blocking back for Kevin Cole. First down, Eskimo. Warren Moon for Levenseller. They call it a catch. Very close to the white line.
Oh, let's see that again.
Well, the rule says you only have to have 1 foot. The only question we're going to see if we see a replay is, does the foot get down? Let's take a look at it. Moon play actions outside. Levenseller on a deep break to the sideline. The ball's thrown. He makes the catch, and let's take a look at it. A little farther. There you go.
Good
What do
call.
you think? Isaiah 10.
Well, I think he's close enough that he can see better than we can, so we got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
From the 43 now, Eskimos first down. Moon to the other side. Waddell Smith short of the first down, but he has the reception. Don Rose, number 6 for the Argos, forcing him out of bounds.
John Rose made the tackle.
There's Neil Lumsden, and he's going to hurt them if he's not in that ball game, because somewhere in the third and fourth quarter, he's been a great player for them.
The quick sprint, Waddell Smith down 8 yards, turns to the outside, quick out, hits Waddell Smith, and Don Rose makes him pay for it. This is what Coach Obilovich said. They're making receivers pay, and he paid.
That's what's really impressing me about the Argonauts this year is those secondary men coming up there and really hitting the receivers. Somewhere in the ball game, it takes its toll.
This is 2nd and 5, Eskimos. Moon for Smith. First down.
Well, we said before the game, you got to use your outside receivers. Wide receivers, you can only use them if the quarterback throws them the ball. And he's gone to them on 3 straight plays. They've completed 3 straight passes.
Warren must have tuned into you, Ron.
I doubt that.
I think we can look for that Waddell to fake the out anytime now and turn it up the field and see if he can't get the long one on this thing. Because they've been going with him, and Rose has been hanging off and kind of giving him those first down throws. Now, Rose is going to get a little nervous and want to come up and play him a little tougher, and that's when he'll turn out.
Right at midfield, an Eskimo first down. Angelo Santucci for a couple. And Argo front wall is playing it tough. Jeff Gabrielson, the linebacker, to make the tackle.
Santucci carries.
2nd and 8, big play right here. The Eskimos got to put something together. The Argonauts right now are controlling the game. They're making the Eskimos do what they don't want to do, especially on defense. Bob Obilovich has got to be very, very happy at this time of the game.
There's a long way to go, and I know he knows that. From the 53. 2nd down. Moon has a first down to Waddell Smith, just shy of the 40-yard line. Again, Zach Henderson to make the tackle. Smith slow in getting up.
Okay, they got the 6 defensive backs in the ball game again this time, and you'll be able to see Moon back to pass. There they are, the 2 inside linebackers right in the middle of the screen. They have to chase the backs, and when they run out of there like that, there's nothing underneath. Waddell Smith at the bottom of the screen turns to the inside. Nobody underneath it. He makes the catch, gets the first down, keeps it alive.
There's no question on that play around those 2 inside linebackers. We're playing man for man on the 2 running backs.
Warren Moon with a first down at the Argonaut 40. Good call for Cole, almost to the 30. John Pointer, 37, to make the stop for Toronto.
Pointer and Wilson made the tackle.
And we'll wait and see exactly where they spot the football.
2nd down, less than a yard.
Just short. A hot night in Toronto. Chance to say good evening to our fallen comrade, Don Whitman, watching this one back in Winnipeg.
Yeah, Don's down. Maybe he's on the injured list. We'll have to check with him.
He's on the injury list, but he'll be back. He's a player. He'll be back next week.
He better be back, or we're going to put him on waivers.
I don't think we can trade him. 2nd down, less than a yard to go. Some movement. It appeared to be from the Argonaut side of things. Straight ahead, should have enough for the first down, Warren Moon.
Moon showed a little poise on that play. So did the offensive line. They hung in there real well. It was a long count. Made the Argonauts do the jumping.
Moon with a staggered count there. Tried to draw him offside. No call on the Eskimos. Argonauts offside.
Warren must have learned that from the old master, Mr. Wilkinson.
Guess who taught Mr. Wilkinson?
Who?
He'll be someplace out in Edmonton tonight saying that's a lie. He didn't teach me that, but I taught him that.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
You're taking the credit for that?
Absolutely. When
All
he was
those
at the
delayed
rifle
games?
football team.
All that talk Wilkie used to do and tell us he did that, I can't believe that.
First down, Eskimos now. The Argonaut 25. Time for Moon. The open man is Cole. And Cole, good move to get the first down. Leo Gray, 28, forcing Cole out of bounds, but not until he'd made the first down.
You got to be impressed with Cole the way he's catching that ball. He's, he doesn't drop anything close.
This time you see the linebackers dropping straight back. It is not a man-to-man defense. So Cole goes outside, and Leo Gray has to chase him, and he throws the ball outside to him. Better put that ball away when he's carrying it, though. But that time wasn't man-to-man, so the quarterback made the right read, hit the right man.
I think it's imperative that the Eskimos get in the end zone this time, not a field goal, but they got to score in order to get back in this ball game.
First down, Edmonton inside the Argo 15. Big pressure on Moon this time. The He eludes the first wave and fired. Tom Scott, the closest Eskimo, didn't stand a chance of pulling that one in.
Steve Aykroyd came from that outside. He was lined up on the line of scrimmage, and there was nobody to block him, and he forced Moon to get out of that pocket. Moon was lucky he got the ball low enough to where it couldn't be intercepted.
That's right. It was good judgment on his part. It was what you call a waste throw. He just wasted it. But he threw it in the direction of receivers, so they couldn't call it purposeful grounding.
All right.
Just saved a big loss.
Sorry, Leo. Big play here. Second down. Eskimos, the Argo 14. Big heat on Moon once more. Rick Marr, 76. You see his happiness. And the Argo fans as well.
That's just a good defensive play. They choked the roll over here. Moon sprints to his left. Right now, he can't get outside because there's a blue shirt, so he steps up inside. There comes more. Bang, sack. That's what you got to do, and they've done a good job of it. That Toronto defense is playing well.
So David Cutler comes in. Mike Levenseller, 73 holds for Cutler this season. Was spotted at the 27. Dead on, and no problem for Dave Cutler as the Eskimos score for the second time in this football evening. They still trail the Toronto Argonauts. Got a long way to come back. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to play till halftime. Are in control.
Avis steps ahead with new Avis Express to get you from your plane to your car fast. I'm David Mahoney of Avis. Follow me. Walk right past those crowded airport rental counters, straight to the Avis bus. Avis Express is the first express service that does not require a bus pass, just your name. Your guaranteed rate contract is ready at our express location. Ask for Avis Express. Another way that trying harder makes Avis second to none.
Well, it's not very often that the Edmonton Eskimos are held to 110 yards in net offense at this stage of the football game. 6 minutes to play till halftime. The Argos out in front, 15-4.
You know what'll do that, John? They've sacked Warren Moon twice tonight. They've had 13 sacks in the last 2 games and 23 on the season. And if you don't have time to throw, you're not going to get too many yards.
Not only that, but it breaks your confidence down just a tad, too.
First down for the Argos. Holloway, far side, intended for Cedric Minter. And he couldn't come up with it. Well, it's a warm, muggy evening in Toronto.
I'll tell you what, this is as hot as I've ever seen it down here. And we used to come here to play a lot, and it was hot, but this is tough.
26 degrees the temperature at game time, and we're in our shirt sleeves.
Hot down there in the field, too, John.
Second down, 10 to go for the Argos from the 35, their own. Holloway for Cox. Against the throw, Cox has the first down, and yards to spare. Finally, Jones over from the other side to make the tackle on Martin Cox. Big first down for the Argos, just when the Eskimos had them penned in a little bit. A 27-yard gain.
27-yard gain for Cox.
This is the same play that was so effective to Greer before, and he just turns back and gets Cox out there. The guard goes out, picks off the corner man, and the tackle comes out and makes a key block, and Cox comes right up inside there for real good yardage. An excellent play.
All right, the Argos first down inside the Eskimo 50 at the 48-yard line. The reverse, Minter for Greer. Does he have running room to the far side? Nowhere to go. Loss of a couple. Eskimos reacting quickly, particularly Gary Hayes. A little slow in developing run.
That took a long time. Holloway came out of there with the ball and actually pitched it up in the air to Greer. You know, he gave it to the back. The back pitched it up. Now he's got to use Holloway for his blocker. And not too many backs like to use quarterbacks as their primary blocker.
It was a great open field tackle by Gray because he was out there one-on-one with Greer, and it could have been disastrous, but he just stayed his ground, watched his belt buckle, made the tackle.
Holloway made his block, by the way, John, just so you know the quarterbacks do make them.
Every once in a while.
That's beginner's luck if he did.
Townsend in for Cox. Holloway on 2nd and 12. Time to throw. Townsend, the intended receiver, couldn't bring it in. Number 30.
Caught the Eskimos just sitting back in his zone. Townsend goes right down the seam. See Holloway back to throw. Dixon's dropping back in his zone. Holloway goes back to his left, throws it right between McLeod and Highball, and over top of the linebacker. Just couldn't quite get it. You see him in that seam right there. Highball comes over, finally knocks it away, or Gary Hayes does, but still a little bit too late.
Eskimos might be a little lucky there with the inexperience of Jeff Townsend. Martin Cox on the sidelines after sustaining a slight knee injury on that big 27-yard reception.
I'll tell you that the tough thing about the Argonaut offense right now is that they send all that motion to the onside, and then they hit that swing back out in the open. There's the coach talking to Holloway on the sidelines there. But they hit the swing back out into the open, get everybody coming that way, and then Holloway will start like he's going to go to that strong side, and he'll turn back and go to a one-on-one on that weak side, and he's going to get Cox and he's going to get Greer, much like he did in earlier ball games, one-on-one on those defenders, and that's how touchdowns are made.
Top 5 passers in Canadian football this season. Tom Clements out in front. Sometimes those statistics don't tell all the truth. Clements with 1,496, but he's lost his last 2 ball games. Now this could hurt the Eskimos. Dan Kearns coming off the field.
John, congratulations goes to Joe Gallat over there, who's really had a lot of stick-to-itiveness with those Concords, you know. He's the new coach over there, and he's taken it upon himself to just have patience and build that football team, and it was a great win for him.
Good win for the league last night. 3rd down. Andrew Sishin kicks it away for the Argos. Good high kick. Frieda back to the goal line. And nowhere to go when he made the reception out to the 5.
Excellent coverage by that. That puts them down on that 5-yard line. Well, that's good coverage by Toronto.
3 minutes, 44 seconds to play till halftime. The Argos 15, the Eskimos 4.
From the depths of space, from the edge of the earth, Timex takes quartz to make a watch beyond time as we know it. The Timex Quartz. Quartz for every man. Handsome in the newest ways. So accurate you may have to reset it only once this year. Thin, sleek, elegant. The Timex Quartz. Built and priced in the Timex tradition. Timex. We make technology beautiful.
This is ESPN, the Entertainment and Sports Programming Network.
At halftime tonight, the CFL in action. The highlights with the quarterback and the chalkboard with the coach. All part of halftime. 3 minutes away anyway. Here's Warren Moon over the middle. Tommy Scott, first reception of the game. Big first down for the Eskimos.
You know, in the papers today, Dieter Brock was talking about covering the Eskimos. Said you got to pay attention to Tommy Scott and take the rest of them one-on-one. That time, you let him alone for a second, he'll find a hole and it'll hurt you. Kenny Johnson, the new quarterback from the Montreal Concord, stand here. He's got to be impressed with this ball club. He's got to be very pleased to be joining them.
He's not exactly what you'd call a run-and-shoot quarterback, though, Ron.
No, he isn't. Not much mobility. First down for the Eskimos across their 22. Moon with time to throw this side of the field for Levenseller. And he has the first down at the 35-yard line. JoJo Heath, 24, covering and helping Levenseller to his feet. 2:59 now to play till halftime. We'll be back in just a moment.
Asks what you've never seen, never heard, never felt in a video game. Star Master for the Atari Video Computer System. Chart and challenge. Warp, but wait. Fight and fight again. Retreat to refuel. Battle and be blasted right out of your senses. Star Master by Activision.
Eskimos with the first down from their 35-yard line. Rod Conniff has now moved into the ball game in place of Eric Upton, who was shaken up on the last sequence. Nothing serious. Upton catching his breath on the sideline.
That moved them out of a deep hole. They had that ball on the 5-yard line. Now they're out here ready to move. They got almost 3 minutes to move that thing down. They certainly love to get a score before the half because the Argonauts are really playing great football right now, and they need to get something going.
Argos with a lot of enthusiasm playing at both sides of the ball, too, Ron.
Oh, yeah, their offense right now has got to believe they can handle the Edmonton defense, and that could be trouble in the second half because they've done it in the first half.
Moon from the 35. Intended for Kehoe. He couldn't hang on. Leo Gray figured he had a pretty good shot at pulling that one in himself for the Argos.
I thought he was going to throw to Waddell Smith out there, but he threw it between the two linebackers. It looked like it hit Kehoe, and he should have caught the football.
Kehoe's dressed for this game in relief of Brian Fryer, who was injured last week. So injuries have taken their toll on the Eskimos so far this season and this evening.
Yeah, they've had a few guys get nicked tonight. We'll see whether they get back in the game or not.
Upton still on the sidelines. So is Neil Lumsden. On second down, Moon just dumps it off for Cole. And Cole fights his way close to the first down, but he does come up short. John Pointer, 37 for the Argos to make the tackle.
John Pointer made the tackle. 7-yard gain.
They throw the screen pass here. Moon goes back. He goes straight back. You see those offensive linemen. Now they run out under the screen. Cole catches the ball. They try to make the block. But who comes in there? Bang. Down he goes. Good defense. You know, a screen pass that averages 8 yards is a good play, but not when you need 10.
You know, that was Pointer coming from that middle area from the linebacker spot. That's a great job of pursuit because the screen was set up. It should have been more successful. But I think he's keying that back, and he saw him go out there, and he just followed him out. It was just a great job of saving the first down.
Hank Alisic across his 35. Carinci waits at the 10. No play. Good punt away by Hank Alisic, forcing Carinci out of bounds the moment he touched the football.
That's the punt coaches love. That is a good distance on the punt. It was high, and then the ball is on the sideline, and Carinci catches it, and he's out of bounds. No return, and it puts them back on their 9-yard line, so they've got 2 minutes to go. Long, long way down the field.
Some kick for Alisic, 59 yards.
No return. That's excellent. That's the best part. Coach Campbell talking to Hank, tell him nice catch, or nice kick. Now he's got to tell these guys, play defense.
Argos first down, right on their 9-yard line. Cedric Minter. Up to the 13. Kearns is back in there, as you see, number 58. He led the Eskimo tacklers.
Just a quick toss that time. Towns forced him to turn that thing back inside. Kepley reached over the top and got hold of him. And then they all come to put him on the ground. Kepley gets hold of him, and then you see McLeod came up and hit him, and it's just good defense by that Eskimo team. That holds them to 4 yards, but Toronto would like to run this out.
There it is right here, just that pitch up that we talked about before. Good job there by the right guard on the play.
That was Dixon in there that time, my fault.
2nd and 7. Heat on Holloway. Got it away anyway. Pearson makes the catch in front of Jones and gets away. Holloman had to come back to make the tackle. Indecision in the secondary.
John, what I was going to say is the most important thing that the Argonauts could do at that stage of the game was get out of that bad area down there by the goal line. And this is just what they did here. Holloway throws the ball deep. The defender again has his back turned. Just turns around in time to see it coming. And by the meantime, Pearson catches the ball, makes a nice gain, and improves that field position, and probably gets them in a position where they can hold this lead going in at the first half.
A 37-yard pickup for the Argos. They have a first down at their own 50-yard line. It's exactly as you said, Leo. They should be able to hang on with 1:35 to play till a half. Over the middle, Pearson again. High ball. Finally made the tackle. Pearson might have been lucky because Kepley came flying across the top.
Excellent thrown pass, though. Holloway reads the zone defense. Pearson goes in behind it, and he just drops that ball right over top of Dixon's head. Watch Holloway. You'll see Dixon there, and the ball just over his head right there into the hole, and Pearson's there all by himself. They've moved that ball a long way in 2 plays.
64 yards in 2 plays. The Argos from the 32 of the Eskimos with another first down. Cedric Minter across the 30.
I think a good play right now would be, as far as the Argonauts are concerned, to try to stay inside those hash marks, run the football, and take their 3 points. Not take any chances on interceptions or anything here.
If you joined us late, the Argonauts lead the Eskimos 15-4. There's a minute 9 seconds to play till halftime.
And I know, Lancaster, you're looking at me as much as say you should go for broke.
You got to go get them. You got a chance to get them down. Get them down. Let's go. Got a minute left. A lot of time.
Well, I hope you don't throw an interception.
Pressure on Holloway. He unloads for Greer. Touchdown! Holloway flung that board. Greer, who got in behind Holloman and Dixon, and the Argonauts are in front 21-4.
You know what happened there, John? He's been going down the field and running a curl, and Holloman had been gambling for the interception. He ran down, he ran a little bit of a curl, then spun out and went deep. Holloway laid it up. Perfect throw. Nice throw. You see it right here. Holloway comes down. He pumps. That tells Greer, go deep. He spins out around him. Throws it right in his hand. Touchdown. Great play. Great throw.
Oh, he went for the bundle there that time, Ryan. Just like you said, he took an awful lick when he threw that ball. It looked like he may have hurt his hand a little bit. But what a beautiful throw and what a nice catch. And, boy, this gives the Argonauts something to go in at halftime with.
Andrew Sishin adds to the total. The Toronto Argonauts in front of the Edmonton Eskimos 22-4. Who would have believed it?
That is a great play right there. Somebody's paying attention because the last two times they've thrown it, Holloman's almost intercepted it. This time they used Holloman's aggressiveness to their advantage, score a touchdown with 50 seconds left in the half. Got to be a big boost for him going in at the half, up this many points.
All right, you know what this kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of a replay of that Grey Cup last year. Now, Ottawa was going in with the same kind of a lead at halftime. Now, the one big difference is that in the third quarter, Wilkinson come out there and kind of put out the fire and started them in the right direction, and then Moon went back in there and won the ball game. But they've got a long way to go. But I'm sure that the Argonauts will be thinking a little bit about what happened at that halftime when the Ottawa Rough Riders were so far ahead of Edmonton in that Grey Cup last year. You can't count them out.
Well, a big play to Terry Greer.
You see Connors Holloway pointing at that flak jacket. It saved his life there because Towns really hit him.
Sean Kehoe finds a little bit of a seam. He's still in the open at the 40-yard line. And only 41 seconds to play till the half. Don Rose to make the tackle for the Argonauts. Likely not quite enough time to get anything really moving here unless the Eskimos come up with a big, big play.
A lot of times, 41 seconds. We're sitting about 62 yards away from the goal line. You got a lot of time to move the ball.
Anybody on that Edmonton team can run a 100-yard dash in 11 seconds. And they got 41. They ought to be able to score 4 touchdowns here.
Eskimos first down. Their own 47. Moon for Cole. Cole running room to midfield. He has the first down. Good defensive play by JoJo Heath, 24.
Nice tackle. That screen was set up well, had a lot of room. Heath come up and got him. Moon's going to go back right here. He's setting that screen pass again. There they go. He's got the lineman in front of him. Cole turns upfield. You'll see Heath come in from outside. Bang. Cuts him right at the leg. Puts him down.
Second down, 1 to go for the Eskimos. Moon. Levenseller has the first down, yards to spare. Inside the 45 of the Argos. Now 25 seconds to play till halftime. Heath again to make the tackle.
Well, in 16 seconds, they got down to the 40-yard line.
He needed to get out of bounds there. Catch that ball and get out of bounds. That extra yard's not worth it. You need the time on the clock.
First down, Eskimos. Moon, time to run or throw. He'll run back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. He paid for maybe 6 inches. Jeff Gabrielson, 72.
Well, Ron, in a situation like that, when you've only got a little bit of time left on the clock, the first thing that the quarterback's got to be thinking about is getting that ball thrown. And the second thing the receiver's got to think about is get out of bounds or score a touchdown. You can't be running around back there looking for a way to make 5 or 10 yards as a quarterback because you'll run the clock out.
Well, Leo, you said before this, sooner or later they was going to send Waddell Smith deep, and they did. Campbell's a little bit concerned. He's going to talk to Moon. But he sent Waddell Smith deep on that play, and Moon got running around. Let's just take a look and see what happens. Moon's in trouble. He steps inside of one. They're coming from the backside. There's a pretty good hit right there. Pointer's coming to get his shot. Gabrielson wants his shot, and finally, bang. He takes 3 good hits there. He didn't want to take too many shots like that, Leo.
Well, he must not have been looking downfield. If Waddell Smith was open, it could have been an easy score for him.
He wasn't open. Toronto went to their zone. They said 2 guys deep with him. Waddell Smith was covered, and that they didn't have anybody else out there with him to take the heat off of him. He was going for broke on that one.
I'll tell you, I can't express how impressed I am by this Argonaut football team. They're outplaying the Edmonton team offensively, defensively, on the line of scrimmage, and all over, and their special teams are a thing to behold. They have become a football team.
Second down. Just over 10 yards to go for the Eskimos. 5 seconds on the clock. That's Cole to the outside and out of bounds. Maybe time for one more play. No. That's it for the first half. And a resounding ovation for the Toronto Argonauts, who have been very convincing in the opening half of football in their home ball yard tonight. The Toronto Argonauts have the Eskimos trailing by 18 points, and there's reason to celebrate here in Toronto.
When's the last time you heard that kind of noise out of this stadium?
Maybe on a Grey Cup afternoon, but certainly not since we watched the Argonauts in the last little while. It's halftime in Toronto, and you see the score.